So I found out at 17 that I was born without a uterus. I had fully functioning ovaries that produced eggs, went through a cycle, but no uterus. So I knew early on I would have to have a surrogate. Didn't make it easier, but I've known for a long time. We had problems finding a surrogate, and I finally just was like, okay, we'll just go through an agency. Well, agencies cost $100,000. That does not include your treatments, your medicine, your ultrasounds, nothing. That is literally just to find a surrogate. By the good Lord above, we had a friend that reached out and was like, hey, I'll do it. You know, she knew kind of what we were going through, and she said, I'll do it. So we start our IVF, and I'm doing the stems, and they knew that my ovaries were up underneath my ribs, but they didn't know how bad it was. Well, while we're doing the stems and they're checking me every other day, they decide to do my egg retrieval at a surgery center instead of the clinic, because he was afraid when he went in with the needles that it would hit an organ. So when I wake up for my egg retrieval at the surgery center, I immediately knew something was wrong. Nobody said anything, but I just felt like something was wrong. And so I kept asking the doctor, what's wrong? What's wrong? And he's like, nothing. It's okay. It's okay. I asked all the nurses, asked all my family. Everybody's like, it's okay. It's fine. You know, you're just waking up from the anesthesia and all this other stuff. It was not fine. He was not able to get in to my ovaries like he thought, because they were so far up underneath my ribs. He was just basically blindly sticking the needle in to try to retrieve as many as he could. I think he got 6. It wasn't many. They take them back to the clinic, and when they get there, they realize they've been exposed to too much carbon dioxide. And so they immediately start fertilizing them, trying to save them. And he called me that night, and he said, you know, we've lost them all. Nothing is going to be able to save, but I have a plan, I think. So he says, I want you to go see this other doctor in Chattanooga. He's an oncologist for gynecology, and we've got a plan, we think. We're going to try it. So basically, I was a guinea pig. They have a surgery where younger women, if they have cancer and they have to do cancer treatments, they move their ovaries up underneath their ribs to protect them from radiation and stuff. So we met with the doctor, and he said, I'm going to try to reverse it. I don't know if I can. He said, your arteries have to be long enough for me to stretch them out. So he says, when do you want to do the surgery? And I said, you can do it tonight if you want to. I was motivated. You know, I wanted it. I wanted a baby. And he says, I actually have an opening for tomorrow, but I'm not going to have time to verify your insurance, and you may have to pay for it all. So I looked at my husband, and he looked at me, and I said, book it. I'll take it. So we went home an hour and a half, and in the morning drove back an hour and a half. And we had the surgery. Nobody knew what they were doing. It was crazy. He took my ovaries, stretched out my artery that was connected to them, and sewed them down to my pelvis. Within 2 weeks, we started another round of IVF and did the retrieval. Worked out wonderful. We have twins from it. But not long after that, I started having problems walking and moving, and it was bad. So I called these doctors back, and I'm like, hey, something's wrong. Like, y'all got to fix this. I can't take it anymore. So finally talked the surgeon into doing an MRI to check and make sure my ovaries hadn't twisted. They were fine. He doesn't want to change it. He doesn't want to do a surgery. And I threw a fit and got him to finally go in and do an exploratory surgery. I begged him to take my ovaries out. So we go back down there. We did the exploratory surgery. I wake up, and they said, your ovaries were sewn to the ligaments in your hips, and that's why it hurt so bad to walk and move and sit up. And I said, oh, thank God. Did he just cut them loose and let them float back up to where they're supposed to be, or did he take them out? And they're like, oh no, he sewed them back down. That's not what we agreed on. That was not the agreement. So it took me a year and a whole other doctor to get them removed, and now I'm in surgical menopause, which is absolute hell. But that is our infertility story. And I'm not 100% comfortable telling it on this platform, because I know people can be mean. But hey, if it gives hope and it gives faith to one other couple, it's a good deal. Keep the faith.